Welcome. In this video, we will discuss about the Azad Hind government. So this was the government which was set up by Subhash Chandra Bose, and it was also a turning point in the Indian struggle for freedom. So Subhash Chandra Bose was the pioneer who was able to established a provincial government in Singapore as well as in Andaman and Nicobar. So he formed what could be called as Azad Hind government. So in this particular video, we will discuss about the Azad Hind government, its salient features, as well as what kind of impact it had on the history of the India's freedom struggle. So let's begin. First of all, why this particular thing was in news? So very recently on 21st of October 2020, the 77th anniversary of the formation of Azad Hind government was formed. So when was the Azad Hind government formed? It was formed in 1943. So October 1943 was the year in which Azad Hind government was formed by Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose and the occupied Singapore. So where it was established in the Singapore. So these are the few keywords you have to remember. First of all, it was in 1943. It was under the leadership of Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose and it was set up in the Singapore. So these are the things you need to remember. Now also remember that it was also called as Arzi Hukumat-e-Azad Hind. So that is also one of the name by which it was called. It was supported by Axis powers. So if you remember during the World War II, there is on one side elite powers, which included your Britain, USA, and France, and on the other hand, there is Axis powers, which includes the countries like Japan, Imperial Japan, then you have Germany and Italy. So the side of the war which was like helping in the formation of Azad Hind government, you have to like really remember, is the Axis power, which include your Imperial Japan, Nazi Germany and Italian Socialist Republic and their allies. So these are the countries which were supporting the formation of Azad Hind government. The provincial government was also formed in the Japanese occupied Andaman and Nicobar Island. So just remember, in 1943, Andaman and Nicobar Islands were occupied by the Japanese forces, but the islands were reoccupied by the Britishers in 1945. So after the war, it was again reoccupied by the Britishers. So this is like few of the historical things that you need to know. Now let's go forward and try to understand more details about this government. So Bose was convinced that armed struggle was the only way to achieve independence of India. So if you remember, during the World War II, there was contention between, like in your spectrum also you would be able to read, was contention between Gandhi, Nehru and Subhash on how the whole condition should be. So Gandhi was more along the line that the war, because the elite power were towards the idea of democracy. So they were he was sympathetic, but he was against the participation of Indian into the like the war. Then Nehru has the opinion that what kind of imperialistic forces they are, that they are suppressing the Indians and then they are talking about the morality and democracy in the other nations. So Nehru was of that idea that because of this India should not participate. Then Subhash was the one that because of the war condition we should utilize that condition and put more emphasis. So he was of the idea that the armed struggle was the only way to achieve independence of India. So that's why he kind of went ahead with the Axis powers. It drew ex-prisoners and thousands of civilian volunteers from the Indian expedite pollution in Malay. So in Malay Peninsula, the people who have been convicted of few things by the Britishers, by the colonial powers, who are ex-prisoner over there, or even the civilians who are now living as civilians in Malay Peninsula, they were the one who formed the part of the Azad Hind government. The Azad Hind government, now this is an important feature for you to remember. The Azad Hind government had its own code, civil code and even the currency. So it's more like it was actually a proper government who has its code, who has its civil code as well as currency. Its provincial capital was Port Blair, while its capital in exile was Rangoon and Singapore. So just remember that its provincial capital was Port Blair, but like in exile, because Subhash Chandra Bose could not get into the country, so in exile the capitals were Rangoon and Singapore. The other information that you need to know about this government is that Bose was the head of the state, or what he could be called as the Prime Minister and the Minister for War and Foreign Affairs. So he is like the most important figure or the highest post in the Azad Hind government. Then Captain Lakshmi headed the women's organization. So there is also, like, if you know, in the INA, there is also the women regiment by the name of Rani Lakshmi Bai. So, which all points to the fact that women also participated during the time of Subhash Chandra, under the leadership of Subhash Chandra Bose. S.A. Iyer headed the publicity and propaganda wing, and Raj Bihari Bose was designated as the supreme advisor. So just remember, Raj Bihari Bose was one of the revolutionary who was associated with the your Azad Hind government. There is another person with the name of Raj Bihari Ghosh, and he was a moderate. If Raj Bihari Ghosh, he was the moderate, and in fact he was the one who presided over the Indian National Congress session in 1907 at Surat, which led to the famous Surat split between moderates and the extremists. So these are not very related to the topic, but I'm just giving you a reference so that you are able to connect the dot. Don't confuse between the Raj Bihari Bose and Raj Bihari Ghosh. So let's move forward and finally understand the whole idea of how the Azad Hind get into the picture. So Subhash Chandra Bose actually gave a very famous slogan. So if you remember, it is like, it is blood alone that can pay the price of freedom. Give me blood and I will give you freedom. So that is one thing which is mentioned. So he was like कि तुम मुझे खून दो मैं तुम्हें आज़ादी दूंगा. It's a very famous dialogue of Subhash Chandra Bose. So he has become convinced over the fact that it is only armed struggle at this point of time which can kind of get the Britishers to move away from the country. So this was his like firm belief. Then Free India or Azad Hind, an Indian provincial government, was established in Singapore in 1943. I have already mentioned this. So it was established by Indian nationalists in the with the help of Imperial Japan. So just remember, it got the help from the Axis powers. Then it was also give the great impetus to the Indian struggle for independence. So India's struggle for independence was also suffering because if you remember the Quit India movement, which was launched by Gandhiji in 1942, it actually led to most of the leaders which were like at the helm of the freedom movement to be put behind the bars, like they were kind of arrested and jailed, and because of it this whole movement had become headless, but it was also still very prominent across the country, and Britishers were slowly trying to understand that now it is very difficult to govern the people of India. And in the same thing, Azad Hind government also provide the impetus to the whole situation. So these are, as I have already mentioned, there was also a provisional government set up at Andaman and Nicobar Island. So these are the few things that you need to know. Then like in your comment section, you could also talk about the INA trials. So INA trials was also one of the things. So basically what is considered that events which eventually triggered the early like the kind of thing which made the Britishers realize that they can no longer be in India was INA trials, and another one was Rin Mutiny, your Royal Indian Navy mutiny, where the military, like the Navy wing like kind of get into rebellion mode because of the kind of treatment they were getting. Another was the INA trial, where it was along the line that the three person who were accused as traitor, your Captain Shahnawaz Khan, Captain P.K. Sehgal and Lieutenant G.S. Dillon, These were marked as traitor by the Britisher and were supposed to be like executed, but the people of the country, they kind of put a lot of support in their wish, and hence their sentence was like kind of called off. So all these things made the Britishers realize that okay, going forward they cannot rule over India, and that is one of the trigger because of which the Cripps mission get into the motion, and we had the cabinet mission and all. So these are the few things that you need to remember in terms of what were the condition like during the World War II, what was happening in India. Azad Hind government is a one important component that you will read. So I hope you have understood this video. If you have any doubt, feel free to drop a comment. Thank you.